Has anyone else ever felt like they just literally are stuck? Super, super stuck. I was very motivated, very excited to progress, and I was told when I went up to my mentors, my store management, I said, hi, this is Mike, 2013, Mike, hi, I would like to become a store manager and do what you do someday. I'm hoping to do that within the next 2 to 3 years. And they looked at me, and you know what they did? No. And they said, you're not going to be able to become a store manager until you've been here at least 7 to 8 years. But guess what? That would be right now. And I've been doing this stuff for 6 years now, full time. After a conversation with my wife, she sat me down and she looked at me. That's her on the left. She's way cooler than me. Sorry that you don't get her, you get me. But she sat me down, she looked at me, and she goes, Mike, you're not stuck. You're very capable, and you're very smart, and you can do something else. And you know what's crazy? I believed her. I believed her. I grew up not the best student. I failed a lot of classes. I had to retake them, mostly math. I hate math, screw math. And I had to retake them. I almost didn't graduate my last semester of college because some crazy thing happened, but I did. And I got that job at the grocery store, and I was grateful for that. But she told me, you know, I'm not stuck, and I believe that. And I want to tell you guys, because you might not have my wife to tell you that, but you have me right now. You're not stuck. None of you. And the fact that you're all here, to me, shows me and you that none of you are actually stuck, and you can make anything that you want to work. How many of you believe that you can do whatever you want? Cheer if you do. So I want to talk about getting rid of fear, because I was scared to do my own thing. I was so scared for years that I joined this startup. I was the very first guy that joined the startup. We built the company, and in less than 2 years, it was social influencer marketing startup that, I didn't even know what that was. I taught myself how to do influencer marketing before it was even like a thing in 2011, 2012, when I realized that I was never going to go anywhere with this company. So I taught myself how to do it in hopes that I would be able to go work with my wife, and it turned into a job with a startup company. In less than 2 years, we sold it to Disney. It was awesome. I got to go to Disneyland for free whenever I wanted, bring 3 people. I don't have that anymore, so don't bother me about it now. Otherwise, I would take you all somehow. But it was great. And then I continued to work at Disney for 2 years. It was awesome. I learned a ton. We did tens of millions of dollars in campaign revenue. Had an amazing time. I learned tons about how to grow 7-figure businesses using social media. How many of you want to grow your business to 7 figures? How many of you already are? I'm curious. So there's a few. That's awesome. That's what I do now. And these are some of the things that I teach. And it's funny because once you get rid of fear, once you get out of your own way, you're able to do that. So I'm going to teach you what get out of your own way means. When you guys are done for the day, or after this talk, whatever you want, I want you to go look in the mirror. And I want you to look inside of your eyes. This might feel weird, it might sound weird, you don't all have to do this, but if you really believe this, I promise it'll change your life. I want you to look in your eyes in the mirror, and I want you to look at yourself, and I want you to talk to yourself and tell yourself that you are capable of doing what you want, and you're going to succeed. And get out of your own way. Don't worry about, oh my gosh, I'm afraid if my family and my neighbors and my high school friends and my college friends are going to think I'm super dorky for doing this, or if this new product launch is going to fail and everybody's going to think I'm an idiot because I put something out there and it didn't work. Who cares? Everybody else is worried about themselves. No one honestly is paying that close of attention to you, right? We've all heard that, but it's actually true. So just get out of your own way. Create, create, create. Stop being a consumer. You know what everybody else is doing. You know what they've been doing because they've been doing it just as long as you have. Stop being a consumer and start being a creator. What is a creator? A creator is somebody that creates and adds value to other people's lives. So your job is to add value, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And it's funny, I wasn't going to talk about digital addiction, but I am just really quickly. I've had a lot of clients come to me and they say that they're stuck on their phone like all day. How many of you guys feel like you're always checking your blog or your email? Do you guys like get excited when you get a new email to respond to? You're like, yes! Why? It's an email, you know, what is wrong with us? I say that because I am the same. So I'm gonna just teach you a tiny little exercise that's gonna help you to combat digital addiction because it's helped my clients. And one of them told me literally that after one day, it changed her entire life. You check your phone 3 times a day, that's it. 3 times a day. No more. 20 minutes each time. You get up, you don't touch the phone. You make your breakfast. You walk your dog. And then you sit down and you get ready to work and you check your phone. You look at your DMs, you respond to comments, which you don't actually need to be doing after you post for 2 hours like everybody says you do. You don't actually need to do that. So hopefully that relieves some pressure if you were one of the people that believes that you have to do that. And then you check your email, you respond back to everything that needs to be responded to right away for 20 minutes, and you're done. And then guess what? You're going to be a creator, and you're going to go create content that's going to live on your channels and your blog so that you have stuff that other people can consume. Because in this room, we're not the consumers. We're the creators. And creators create, consumers consume, okay? So doing this first thing is going to make you sharp. It's going to get your mind right for the day. And then you're going to go work for a few hours, then you're going to have lunch. And then after you have lunch, 20 minutes again, you're allowed to do this. I just want you to try this for one day, tomorrow. And then you go and you work, and then you're going to check it one more time. It's going to be after your work day's over or before you eat dinner. And that's it. You put it away. If you have a spouse or you have kids or you have a friend, you're present for them. And then you're going to sit there and you're going to look at them and you're going to wonder why they're not doing the same thing. But they didn't have this challenge, but you do. And they're going to be like, why are you staring at me right now? And you're going to say, because I did Mike's challenge, and you're not. And they're going to be confused, but you're going to tell them what it is, and you're going to have a better interaction and engagement with them that night. I promise you that that will help you get out of your own way. And when you get out of your own way, you're going to be able to add a lot more value to your audience. Okay, add a lot more value. It's not you, it's them. Truthfully, guys, it's not about us. This isn't a personal blog. This isn't a personal Instagram page. This isn't a personal Facebook dialogue or diary. This content that we're creating is for our audience. How many of you thought that you were just documenting your life for the fun of it? No. This is to add value to your audience's life. That's the only reason that people are following you or will ever consume any of your content, is because they're taking what you create and they're putting it inside of themselves. They're wondering, how can I have a better party? What can I do to make a charcuterie whatever board with meat and cheese, whatever that is? I love those, but I never know how to say it. How do I make that and become the hit of this party? Right? That's all they care about. They care about you, yeah, and your stories, and your babies, I guess, but they want to know how they're going to make their lives better. In order to grow, because it can be hard, right? Is it hard to grow your Instagram today? Did it used to be as hard? I have a friend in this room that has an Instagram page that has 2 million followers that I've known for several years, and I'm really excited that she's here. I bet if I asked her how much harder it is to grow her channel today than it was 5 years ago, she would probably start to cry because it's so much harder now. But it's still possible through laterally shared content. What does that even mean? This post is something that we posted about a month and a half ago on my wife's page. It's gotten more engagement since then. It's her most engaged post ever. It's close to 30,000 likes, a few thousand comments, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shares, thousands of saves. People were sharing it on their Instagram stories, on their main feed, tagging their friends, and it was crazy because here's what happened. We became overnight parents to a 4- and a 6-year-old back in 2013, and we were their legal guardians for just about 4 years. And after a year and a half of being a very heavily contested and unexpected legal adoption, fighting to become a permanent family, we lost our kids. And it was obviously devastating, to say the least. And we didn't really know what to do next, right? It's taken us a really long time to get back to a level we're able to perform where we were. And it's awesome because now we're exceeding where we were even still. And one of the things that we do is we hype each other up. We're each other's hype man and hype woman. And she loves this song, I Am Here by Pink. Do you guys know that song? Write that down. Go listen to that. I Am Here, Pink. And what happened was I walked into the room. We just bought a house in Memphis. It's an Airbnb. And we bought this house, and the contractor was like 2 months behind. If you've ever done a home project, you know that that's normal, I guess. I don't know. I'm weird. I believe in timelines. But that's normal, and she was stressed. In 3 days from when we did this, it was the 2-year anniversary of losing our kids. We were very tired, very stressed, and very sad, obviously. And I walked in there, and I knew that I needed to help her get up. And so I helped her stand up, literally had to pull her off the bed, and she's like, hold on, I want to film this. Because everybody always asks, what do you guys do when you're feeling sad and down like this? What do you do? And this is literally what we freaking do in our house, like when we're alone. This is what we do. And so we filmed it. And then it was weird because she just let it go, and she just started breaking down. And I literally had to pull her up and hold her arms up in the air. Because that's how you have to just go back at life. You know what I mean? You have to just keep your arms up in the air, no matter what. And that's how you keep going forward. And so when we posted this, it just kind of went viral, and people started sharing it. And the way that you get laterally shared content is through the 3 E's. Write these down. Empowerment, engagement, entertainment. Empowerment, engagement, entertainment. If you have one of those, you keep your followers. If you have 2 or 3 of those, you create laterally shared content. This was empowering. I think it was also entertaining, not in like a, oh, that's so great way, but it was something that people were really moved by. That's how you create laterally shared content. Raise the bar. This is in our truck. Ashley named her Miss Tennessee. I thought that was fine, and it's her truck, so I just said whatever, even though it's a weird name. And this is a photo shoot that we went to. You have to set yourself apart. And one of the ways that you set yourself apart is just doing something differently. So, for example, if you're a speaker and everyone else is on the stage and you decide to walk around and start looking at people in the eye and giving them a high five, that's setting yourself apart. Just little things, you know what I mean? Stuff that's going to engage the audience. Just little things that are going to set you guys apart, whether it's a challenge. How many of you guys have ever done a challenge, a free challenge where you get people's email addresses? Raise your hand. Oh, wow. Okay, write this down. A 7-day challenge that's going to get people to do and learn something. Maybe it's 7 days of recipes, and on the 7th day, they have to host a party where they're creating a brand new recipe or a theme, a brand new theme that they've never been a part of. And everybody will give you their email, and then you send them all this new content once a day for 7 days. That gives you their email. Why do you want their emails? Because that's stuff that you own. And you also can get them other ways. You can push them to a blog. You can grab their emails, right? That's something that you should do too. That's setting yourself apart as well. You guys follow me? Is that good? Creativity and quality. This is pretty creative. This is a 1958 Apache that we have, and it's looking through the windshield of the truck. It's kind of neat. And the only reason that you can see us, because it was sunny, is that there was a huge tree in front of us, and the shade from that tree is allowing or is blocking the sun, really, from shooting through the window. That's pretty sweet, huh? It's like, man, why didn't I think of that? I'm an Instagram husband, right? I should have been able to think of that, too. And the quality. Create quality images. I once thought, I'm becoming a decent writer. I bet, and I wonder if I just start throwing up pictures, like selfies that are unedited and like things that are just random with crappy backgrounds. I'm like, I bet that my content will still have really good engagement. So I started doing that a few times. You guys know what happened? It didn't work. Apparently, people do actually like really good photos and videos. So keep the quality up. Selling on social. How many of you feel like you're good at selling things? Raise your hand, please. Okay. I used to feel the same way. And you know what's funny? I don't actually sell anything. I don't sell anything at all, because who has bought a new car? Or who's been to a car dealership? Please raise your hand. Okay. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Is the first thing that happens to you when you walk out of the car and shut the door and you look up that you see at least 2 people that are in the Olympics, in the power walk, that are running at you basically, but they're not because they're walking? That's intimidating. And then who has heard the ice cream truck? What do you do when you hear that song? You run after it with your money. Take my $3 and give me the frozen Snickers, please. Right? But why? They're both selling something. It's because the ice cream truck is leaving, so you go to it. Social media is a way for you to present your offer to people so that they understand what it is that you're offering them, whether it's an e-course or a free guide, like I call it a freemium, which is something for free, like a 15 or a 20-page guide with worksheets that's going to teach you a skill or some new concept that you've been wanting to know that's cutting edge, or maybe that's debunking an old myth, right? In exchange for an email address. That is going to allow you to sell without actually selling, because then you get them into your audience. They start to trust you. They know that you're there to help them, to give them value to their lives. Does that make sense? Your bio is your website. You actually don't even need a website anymore if you have an Instagram page. If you look at my bio right here, I use it as an example. The bio changes all the time for me. It's not even helping you dominate your life and business. I don't even know why I put that, but it's there, and it's on the slide, so there it is. It's teaching social media and how to skyrocket your business or something like that. And then I have coach, strategist, keynote, former Disney director, because that gives me some clout and credibility. And then I have my freemium right there. And so automatically, when somebody gets to your page, now apply this to yourself. When somebody gets to your page, are they confused with what you're doing? Yeah, you have pictures of food or home furnishings or selfies, or you just went to Cancun, which is awesome. But do they know why they're there? Do they know what this page is about? If they don't, go rework that so that they understand what to expect on that page. And then they start to go through your highlights. This is like your interactive resume. This is a way for you to sell them without selling them. So I start with, well, this is what I do, stories to pump you up so that people understand, hey, I'm on your side, right? Like, I'm on your team. For real, I am. I just want to help as many people as possible. And then I give client updates with success stories, and then I give clients stories and testimonials and things that are just basic. And then in there's an opportunity for them to take the next step if they're interested in working with me. And that's how I get my leads and stuff. And it's great, it's fantastic. I haven't had to sell anything since I started my business in like a year and a half, and it's been very good. So that's what I want you to do, okay? Okay, so working with brands. When I was at Disney, one of the things that was most frustrating for the influencers, and my wife is a social, and I don't even love the word influencer, I just feel like it's kind of been trashed and polluted a little bit, so let's call ourselves thought leaders. Is that fair? One of the things that these thought leaders tell me, and that they still struggle with, is that the brands just don't get it. Do you guys ever feel like the brands just don't really understand you or your audience, and they just come in and say, here's the deliverables that I need, here's all the talking points, and they just vomit all this stuff all over you, and they don't care about what your audience likes or wants or needs? Does that ever happen to you? Is that frustrating? But what do you have to do? Because they're the ones that have the money, and they're the ones that are paying, but you know your audience better than them. So you have to work with them, okay? And we'll talk about that a lot in customer service. But like I just said, we got a house in Memphis, and we got thousands and thousands of dollars in home furnishings and products donated by doing simple things like this. You can screenshot that if you want, or take a photo rather. But it's basically, the key point in there is, I wanted to reach out and see if there are any social media needs that I can help serve. That must be in any email or DM that you send to a brand that you want to work with. They'll pay you. Just because you're reaching out to them doesn't mean that you're saying, I'm going to work for free. You want something back, and they know that, but you're asking, how can I serve you? And when you serve them, when they know that you're on their team and that you want to serve them, they're going to be like, oh, all right, let's work. Let's do this. Okay? And then as you can see, it took 6 days for them to reply, but they did, and we worked with them. She's been able to get, I think she got well over 6 figures in brand deals just by doing these simple things last year. And that was just passive. It wasn't even like she was trying very hard. Have you guys ever seen either of these girls? Where have you seen them? So about 2 years ago, their mom came to me and she said, how do I work with more brands? I said, that's not the question. The question is, how do you grow? Because when you grow, brands will find you. That makes sense, right? So what we started to do was we created a strategy for how she should create videos, what she should say in the captions, what she should say in the videos, like the scripts and everything. And so she started posting these, and guess what? These were super hilarious, and they started just exploding. And so I would get these texts from her, and I would text her, and we'd just be like, what is happening? Because she grew 1.5 million followers in like a couple months. Her Facebook was 0, and then it got to like 1.5 million in 4 months. And now she's over 9 million on both of those platforms. And I think her YouTube's like 500,000. She makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month through her deals. She just opened up a brand partnership that's in Target for clothing. It's possible. You just have to figure out how to get this laterally shared content. But you grow until they know who you are, and then they'll come to you. Customer service. We talked about this, but the brand really is your customer, guys. You need to protect the brand like they were your own brand, because they're the ones who are paying you. That's why I have the bodyguard in there, because I could think of no better protector than, I don't even remember his name, Mel Gibson. I know that's not it, but I know that's Whitney Houston. And then have you guys seen the movie Rush Hour? I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You have to be really clear with your communication to the brand. Those are just some easy things to remember. Politely educate them when necessary. Don't say, you're wrong, you're dumb, I'm right, listen. You just say, I agree with what you're saying, and I understand why you want me to hit these talking points. However, this is what I think should be done. What are your thoughts? Be inclusive. How can I serve you? Is this going to, in this way, going to help your initiative? Never be late. When I was working with influencers every day, the people that I would ask all the time to do campaigns would be people that I had in my texts that I knew were going to make me content fast and that were going to be on the ball and were going to respond to me. So be dependable, hold yourself accountable, punctual, good quality. I am Mike LeMieux. Thank you very much. And I have one little request. Every time I speak, everybody needs to get on their feet again, if that's okay. Every time I speak, at the end, I always have everybody cheer as loud as possible. Do you guys have that in you? One more time. Everybody go like this. Come on. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Thank you, guys.